Hello everyone, in today's video I'm just going to be giving you like a little fish room tour to just show you around and so you can see what's happening. So the first tank I'm going to be showing you today is going to be this tank right here, and I'm loved how this tank is going. It's a little bit dirty, but the reason I love this tank so much is I have got a spawn of Peppermint bristlenose in here. So you'll be able to see they're everywhere in this tank, on the wall, on the plants, on the glass. And you can see my other videos, I've been really trying to breed these peppermints, and I've had some struggles getting them to spawn, but I finally got a successful spawn from them. And I've just fallen in love with these guys. They are by far the cutest bristlenose, the little white spots and the white tail. And some more amazing news is I also might have another male Peppermint bristlenose on eggs in this tank again. We'll have to see how it turns out because it is a first time male, so he could have eaten the eggs. I'm going to check this morning, but fingers crossed he does okay. And yeah, that's probably like the first two tanks I'll be showing you. And another tank that has changed a lot in the fish room is this tank here. So every single person that comes into the fish room or sees this tank is like immediately goes, oh my God, you need to do a water change, you need to clean the glass, you need to take everything out, you need to bleach it, no, it's got algae everywhere, it's not healthy for the fish. And I'm like, well, actually, this tank is probably the most stable tank out of all my aquariums here in the fish room and has the clearest water. And for most beginners, even though your tank's covered in algae, all you really need to worry about is your water quality, so like water parameters. And I've tested my water parameters here and everything's at 0. Everything is super stable. The only time you want to start worrying about algae is when it's in your water column, like green water, or when your water gets like really brown and mucky and all your nitrites and nitrates start spiking. That's when you need to start worrying. But right now, this tank is super stable and it's only this kind of natural algae growth on the glass, which the pistos and rams in here are loving because it acts as like a natural barrier between me and them. So they can act like, I can't see them really, and they can hide and stuff. And they love looking through, you probably seen before, they love looking through the little holes in the algae. And yeah, that tank is probably, the cleanest tank water-wise I have in the fish room. And another tank, again, that has changed a lot is this 4-foot here. So in my previous videos, you would see that this tank was stocked to the brim with golden rams. You can see we still have one here. This is one of my beautiful males that was left over from the previous batch that my younger brother didn't want to let go of because he was so gorgeous. So this is Flash, very beautiful male. Might have a go at breeding him in the future. But yeah, and at the moment, I'm just growing out some future breeders of my forktail or fricata blue eyes, and then I've just got a breeding trio of super red short fins in here. And I'm keeping this tank empty at the moment for my future fry of Dark Knight Rams. So I'm trying to get these guys, my Dark Knight Rams breeding. I made an annoying mistake. I got a spawn from my Dark Knight Rams, but sadly, when they're in the container, they're about 2 days old, I overfed the container, then did a too big a water change, and all in all, it just ended up killing them. So I was really bummed about that. But my pair at the moment looks like they're going to be spawning again, and this is where the fry are going to be going. So that's why I'm leaving this tank open. So as soon as I get fry, they can just fill up this tank and grow up for the future. Okay, so this is what one of my 4-foots should look like. So this is again one of my 4-foot stocked to the brim with golden rams. These guys are about a month and a half to 2 months old, and you can see they're just starting to get their color, and you can just start to differentiate males and females. So you see that's a beautiful male there, then you got a female here. And also in this tank, I have a massive colony of red cherry shrimp that have gone nuts, and my breeding colony of albino longfin. So you can see the male here is fanning away, trying to get a female's attention. And yeah, these albino longfins especially have been going nuts in this tank. I've gotten 8 spawns from one male in a matter of months because there's only 2 males in this colony and about 6 females. So every time the male gets a fry, he's on eggs again. So I've been producing an absolute mountain amount of these guys, and I'm really happy how this tank has turned out. So in this tank here, I have something really exciting. So you can see this tank's absolutely disgusting because I haven't been able to clean it out because my male super red longfin is on eggs. So I've been trying really hard to get these guys to spawn successfully, and I haven't had much luck at it because the male I have in here is a bit of a pain. He's just so aggressive and territorial that he either will kill any other male, like trap and kill any other male in the tank, or if a female lays eggs in the back of the cave, he won't let her out. So I've been really struggling with these guys, but I finally got a second spawn from them. As you can see, he did kick. He's not the best at, he kicked a couple of the eggs out. You can see in this egg tumbler. He's okay. He'll keep a couple in there, but most of them will end up being kicked out. Yeah, so once those guys once I can start getting these guys really turning over batches of fry, I'll be able to start selling them. And yeah, up here I've just got my 2 20 liters. These are my hatching tanks. I use these mostly for blue eyes. So you see in this tank here, I have 30 to 40 Ricarda or fork-tailed blue eye fry, and then I've got just 5 stir-by Cory babies that I'm growing out to adult size. Not in this tank, but just growing them out in this tank, and then going to put in a bigger tank to grow out. And in this tank, I've got a tank again with blue eyes. These are red neon and spotted blue eye fry. So these guys I found the perfect technique to breeding these guys. So when I breed the fork-tailed blue eyes, I pick the eggs. You see in my video I did on how to breed blue eyes, I say pick the eggs for 10 days. That works absolutely amazing for the fork-tails, but that method doesn't really apply to the spotteds or the red neons. So I find with the red neons, what you do is you leave a spawning mop in the tank again for 10 days, but on the 10th day, you just pull the spawning mop out and just chuck it into one of these tanks, crank up the aeration and leave it. And it just must be something about the eggs being protected by the spawning mop and not sitting on the ground. I just have more success hatching them out and breeding them that way. So yeah, if you're having any trouble with breeding the red neon blue eyes, definitely try leaving the spawning mop in there for 10 days and then taking it out and hatching them. And another tank on this rack, you can see all the tanks on this rack are a bit dirty, but in this tank, I've got a breeding colony of hill stream loaches, and I've actually had good success breeding these guys. So you see there's a little fry on this glass here. So I found with these guys, I don't even do water change in this tank. I don't siphon the gravel, I only feed. So this tank hasn't had a water change in about 3 months, and the fish are thriving. I haven't even scraped the glass because when the babies hatch out, they'll go onto the glass and they'll nibble up all the biofilm and algae on there. And I have found that that's a much better method than keeping your glass super clean. You just kind of need to let the tank go, and I've just found the hill streams thrive in this kind of tank environment. Okay, so I'm loving this tank at the moment. I'm really excited to stock it with fish. So in this tank, this is going to become my leopard frog breeding tank. So at the moment, I've got my subadult colony of leopard frogs in an 80 litre down on my bottom rack. They're just kind of been held there until they get a little bit bigger. But I'm going to be moving the colony into here in the next couple of days so I can start getting them breeding, let them put in a little bit more size. And I've absolutely just loved how this tank's turned out. You got the sand. I've got these 4 absolutely beautiful female Bosemani. I forgot how much I love these guys. They're just so beautiful and inquisitive. Every time I walk past the tank, they come to the front. They're like, oh my God, hello. So yeah, I'm really loving how this tank has turned out. And I'll do a little update video on it once the leopard frogs are in here. Okay, so in this tank, I've done a video on this tank before. This is my lemon blue eye longfin breeding tank. As you can see, it has gone nuts, like nuts. These guys have produced so many batches of fry. I think I've got 6 batches of fry in this tank. You can see the fry have started to get nearly close to sellable size, and there's just every single week there's new babies being produced in the tank. And I'm just absolutely stoked how this tank has turned out, because in the past I haven't had much success breeding these guys, and I'm just pumped that I can really mass produce these guys on a large scale. So in this tank, this is probably my most, I'd say, boring tank at the moment. There's not much going on in here. I've actually got quite a lot of rare species of Plecos and bristlenose in this tank. So in this tank at the moment, I've got 5 honeycomb or L519 bristlenose Plecos. So I've got a subadult colony in here. And I've also got 5 L201 fry in this tank. These guys are the most skittish fish. Like, if you didn't know what was in here, you would think there was nothing in this tank. Like, they're that good at hiding. And I've also just received recently, I'll try and get these guys out, 9 of these super longfin bristlenose fry. So most of you guys will be asking, hey, wait a minute, you already have a breeding colony of super longfins. Why are you getting more fry? Why don't you just grow your own fry? That seems like a bit of a waste of money. So as I was saying with that male, he's a real pain. He just, traps and kills everything and not the best of dads. So I'm going to be starting off with a new colony of bristlenose. So I'm just going to be growing these guys out to adults and breed this colony. And then when these guys start breeding, I'll decommission that colony out there because it's just really, that male is really annoying. Doesn't make my life easier raising the fry. And I'm hoping that these guys will be better and more placid and calm. And yeah, that's the main reason I've been introducing these guys. Like, I forgot how cute they are when they're fry. They're absolutely beautiful. So I've just got 9 of these guys, and these guys probably start breeding in 6 to 7 months, which I'm really excited about. And I, again, can't wait to mass produce these guys like I do with the leopard. So this is the final tank I'll be showing you, and this tank is my favorite tank here in the fish room at the moment. And you guys are probably a little bit shocked because I don't really do planted aquariums. I normally, just keep them plain and simple for breeding. So I picked up this tank over the weekend. It's just a 3-foot blue planet, and it's just got some natural plants. So I don't know exactly what soil it is, but just planted soil. And I've just stocked it with Anubias and Java fern just to keep it really simple. And this tank is going to become my pea puffer breeding tank. So I've just, over the weekend, again, I picked up I picked up a juvenile colony of 10 pea puffers, which I've absolutely fallen in love with. And I'm going to be introducing them into this tank once I finish quarantine to grow them up and start breeding them. And they just absolutely love it, darting about, and they got so much attitude. Like, they actually look at you with their eyes and the way they reverse and everything. I just fall in love with them. But yeah, that's what this tank is gonna turn into. And I can't wait for them to start breeding me, get pea puffer fry in the fish room. So yeah, that's a little update on what's been happening so far and just showing you around so you can get a feel for how the fish room's going. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below on which was your favorite tank or species that I showed you. And I hope you have an amazing day.